Hey, grade 12's fifth video on taxonomy and evolution. This is on mass extinctions, and real topic that's in the news a lot lately because of global climate change and how it affects other organisms and eventually us. So when we look at mass extinctions, there's been at least 6 in life's history. Again, the Earth's about 4.5 billion years old. Life has been here 3.5 billion years. And when something drastically changes, it affects how life can survive. There's been sort of 3 big ones. The Permian Triassic at 252 million years ago. There's probably a little bit of unknown about it, but from what we've seen in the geological record, there was an incredible amount of volcanic activity. And while volcanoes erupt, not only they put magma onto the earth, but they put gases into the air. CO2 and sulfur are 2 of the big ones. Sulfur causes acid rain, SO2 for you chem people, and CO2 mixes in the air and causes global change, as well as makes the oceans more acidic. When you combine CO2 and water, you get carbonic acid. The second one is probably the most famous because we talk about it lots with the dinosaurs, is the KT or Cretaceous Triassic around 65, 66 million years ago, somewhere in between there probably. A meteor impact in the Gulf of Mexico called the Chicxulub crater today was probably at least a 500 mile diameter meteor that hit. And the heat that is produced out of that probably almost evaporated all of the oceans, probably blackened the sky for many, many years after. We see about 1,000-year effect on climate in that time. And the big thing is all large organisms. We kind of think around anything over around 50 pounds did not survive. And most of that within the first year. And then again, sort of a little trailing effect for about 1,000 years after. So the dinosaurs got wiped out there. The mammals at that time were real small, nothing big like us at that time. So some of the mammals survived and eventually evolved, and so we're sort of still today in the time of mammals caused by the KT extinction. At that time, mammals were sort of the small guys hiding, and you know, they were kind of food for dinosaurs. And once the dinosaurs were gone, the mammals exploded into every niche in the world and are still dominating today. Now the last one, and this is one that you guys would read about a lot, is the Holocene. It's happening now, and it's caused by us. You know, the Industrial Revolution in the mid-1800s sort of changed the way man did everything. Before, we were sort of just one of the animals of the world. And now today we have, you know, with technology, we have caused many issues. Things like deforestation, cutting down a lot of the trees, right? Rainforests, etc. Habitat destruction, more and more homes, more and more people, less area for organisms to live in. Pollution, stuff that we put into the air since the Industrial Revolution. Overfishing, you know, we basically wiped out the cod off of Newfoundland, so they're not allowed to cod fish anymore. We just overdid it. Poaching, you know, organisms that are considered endangered and still people shoot them and use them for food or for other things like medicines, right? That's cut down on the diversity. Ocean acidification, not only is the carbon dioxide that we put into the air cause global warming, the majority of the CO2 goes into the ocean. And when you mix water and CO2, you get carbonic acid. So the oceans are becoming very acidic. Anything that has a shell to it, eventually those shells will not develop because of the very acidic ocean getting worse and worse. Climate change, which is talked a lot about, the CO2 and that goes into the atmosphere. And another element is methane. Methane, we use cattle a lot for our food and sort of industrial farming. The more and more cattle we have, cow farts have a lot of methane in. And methane is more of a greenhouse gas even than CO2. So the way that we produce food is also causing some of that global climate change. Okay? Good luck, guys. Let me know when you need something.